Hello my loves, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading all about what your destiny is, and it is also National Psychic Day, which I'm super excited that Keen decided to sponsor today's video in honor of National Psychic Day. If you guys are unfamiliar with Keen, they're basically a huge online psychic network platform where you guys can log on and get your personal life's questions answered by a psychic or spiritual advisor. A few of my favorite things about Keen is that they're so ultra flexible. For example, they are a site that is 24/7, so you can log on whenever, wherever to get your life's questions answered. They're also super flexible with how you contact your psychic, whatever you're the most comfortable with, whether that be phone call, instant message, or even just email. I also love the fact that Keen can fit almost any budget. For example, when you log on, there are psychics that are cheaper, there are psychics that are more expensive, so you can find one that actually falls into your budget and whatever that you are willing to spend. They also offer a huge flexibility on time. For example, if you want, you can only buy like 5 minutes with a psychic or a full hour, just depending on what you want, how many questions that you have to get answered. They also make the sign-up process super simple so that you guys can get matched up with your most recommended psychic, since it can be a bit overwhelming to have so many psychics on at the same time. So when you do sign up, they send you through a very quick questionnaire, and then at the very end you get matched with your most matched psychics so that you guys can have a quick and easy way to choose who you want to contact. My personal experience with Keen has been great so far. I did notice that when I first tried it out, I did need to actually contact a few different psychics to find one that really resonated with me. For example, the first two psychics just really, they weren't that detailed, and I just wasn't really getting much out of it. But I did notice by the third psychic, she went into huge depth and huge detail with me, and her predictions actually did end up coming true. So I highly recommend, if you're trying out Keen for the first time, to try out a few different ones to find out which psychic resonates with you the most, so that you can keep coming back to that one and find out if they're actually accurate for you. So if you guys are new to Keen, definitely head to my link, trykeen.com/gem, to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which is a super good deal. So if you guys are interested in it, that is trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. You can also click the link down below in the description box to get sent right over to their site. And if you guys are a current Keen member, definitely check your inbox, as Keen sends out weekly discounts and emails with different specials so that you guys can keep returning to Keen and get some weekly discounts and stuff like that to make it easier to keep in contact with your favorite psychics. And without further ado, let's hop right into today's video. Hello my loves, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a new pick a card reading for you guys. This one is all about what is your destiny. So excited. Also want to mention, I know I mentioned on Instagram that I'm so excited for these new setups that I'm going to have in my new house. They are coming. It's just taken a little while. I still haven't even remotely finished unpacking my stuff. So here we are doing the old setup just for a little while longer. But anyway, if you guys are here for finding out what your destiny is, then you're in the right place. If you guys are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown of how they work. So over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like, to find the pile that you're the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card, so then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading. If you guys like to choose with crystals below the cards, I'll be popping some crystals on there right now. All right, so if you guys like to choose with crystals below the cards, here are our crystal options. Over here we have some blue obsidian, then over here we have some Picasso jasper, then we have rose quartz, scolecite, and adventurine, or aventurine. I always pronounce it with a D as if it's like adventure, but it's not that at all. Anyway, if you guys like to choose with crystals, here you go. Pause the video if you'd like. Then once you're done choosing your pile, scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find that timestamp that's linked to your specific card, so you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading. I also want to put a little disclaimer in here. This is your current outcome of current destiny. So if you guys are like, ooh, is that like all I'm ever going to be capable of for the rest of my life? No, this is just your current destiny. You guys can change your destinies. There's free will. We all have that freedom in our lives. So I just wanted to put that little disclaimer in there. This is just your current energy of your current destiny. So without further ado, let's hop right into this video, starting now. All right, so group number 1, if this is the pile that you chose, this is going to be all about your destiny. So let's hop right into it. All right, so group number one, we have Six of Wands reversed to begin us off. Then we have the Knight of Swords upright. Then we have Temperance reversed. Then we have the King of Wands reversed. And so the vibe that I'm really getting for this is the reason why we have these reversals is you haven't yet kind of like broken the veil of your destiny. I'm going to explain exactly why that is. But essentially with this Knight of Swords, this is really speaking out to me because I feel like you guys have a really quick mind. You're really quick at thinking. I feel like you guys are really good at coming up with different ideas in your mind, but then when it comes to the execution of it, you guys might be a little bit more delayed or behind, or maybe you like to change your mind very quickly, and basically you guys are really excited about certain ideas, but then you get more good ideas and then more good ideas. And the reason why that is because you're someone who is actually supposed to be like an entire like pioneer of something. You're most likely going to be like a life path number one. And funny enough, you guys chose pile number one. But the Temperance, when this is reversed, this lets me know that you guys are destined to kind of like figure out how to mix oil and water, if that makes sense. And that's just a metaphor. It's not like your actual destiny. We've already figured that out in science. Y'all don't need to worry about that too much anymore. But the Temperance is the alchemist. They learn how to mix oil and water. And so they're really drawn to the things that people haven't yet done. And so I feel like you guys aren't interested in the jobs that already have like an outline of like, this is what you do. You wake up, you do that, and then you go to bed. You guys are interested in the jobs that no one's tampered with yet. No one's really into it yet. I feel like you guys are even bored with the jobs that are like, just being like an average everyday like business owner, You guys want to own the business that nobody else has owned yet. You guys want to do something totally different. You guys want to be like, I don't know, it's almost like when the curtain opens, you want to be the act that nobody has seen yet, the story that nobody has written yet type of thing. And so with the Six of Wands being reversed, I do feel like you guys will be very successful, although I do feel like you guys haven't fully tapped into that success yet. And this is why it's reversed, because I feel like you guys are still on that journey of kind of figuring out what exactly your destiny looks like for you, what exactly that career looks like. But I do feel like you guys are the pioneers that are going to bring something brand new to this world, something that hasn't been invented yet. And then we do also have the King of Wands being reversed. So again, I feel like you guys have the potential for big success. I do see you guys doing your own thing when we have King of Wands even coming up at all. But again, it is reversed at the moment just because I feel like you guys haven't fully tapped into what that looks like yet. So I did want to mention that, yep, big success over here, but maybe fully hasn't quite embarked onto what that is yet. We haven't really fully scratched that surface. The next two cards that we have over here, we have Mediator. So the gift for negotiating fairness, strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. Interesting. And then we also have Athlete. So this is the dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. So this is definitely kind of like that pushing the boundary like I was seeing in this earlier. So I do feel like you guys are really like, okay, so our world has made it this far. I want to take it a step further. So you guys are the ones that are like, ooh, I really want to bring in that that new type of energy. I want to take everything a step further than what our world thinks we can do. You guys also might be very interested in like bodybuilding or something like that, since we do have the Athlete just coming up. So I feel like that's only a smaller portion of you, because the rest of you, it'll be something like totally different. But I do feel like you guys are very interested in pushing the limits, going further. You're like, okay, well, the average Joe ends up over here. I want to end up over here. So that is definitely part of your guys' energy and your energetic destiny. Maybe you guys have already tapped into that, but I do feel like no matter how far you are already into this, as long as you're living, I feel like you're always going to want to take it a step further. So this is why we have these reversals, because I do feel like 10 years from now, you're even going to be further than where you currently are. And maybe you're already into, pushing the envelope, but I do feel like you're just going to get further and further ahead as time goes on, which is why these aren't the fullest, like most fulfilled upright cards quite yet. We do also have gift for negotiating fairness, strategy, personal life, So I do also feel like Mediator, this can mean that your whole destiny is also to kind of help people out. And so maybe you're pushing the envelope and you also really want to provide something that is going to really help everyone. And I do feel like you're also someone who, just further out of like the career side of things, you also really seek fairness. You like fairness. You want to, as you push yourself ahead, you want to help bring everyone along with you. You're kind of someone who's like, okay, I've made it to here. I have bigger sights ahead, but I also want to help people come to this area as well. So maybe you guys are a personal trainer even, since we have these, but that's only, again, like a small portion of you, because again, this is a general reading, but I am seeing like a more specific thing would be like a personal trainer, someone who really likes to push that envelope further and further. Or maybe you guys even, you know, this can just be metaphorical rather than literal, and you guys just really like to push the envelope. Maybe you're going to invent something that's never been invented before. Maybe you're going to do something that's never been done before, type of thing. I don't know, this kind of reminds me of like the Elon Musk type of pile, where, you know, they, you guys come into this earth, into this world, and you guys create something that, you know, you really push the world forward in some big ways, and the world's just like, whoa, wow, you literally are a name that goes down in history because of all the, like the pushing of the envelope that you guys do. So that can be on a smaller side of the scale, or a bigger side of the scale, whatever kind of fits along with you. We're all unique people, but I am seeing definitely that sort of energy at the very least. The next two cards that we have over here, we have Green Man Synergy, and then we also have Iceberg Submerged. And so with the Green Man of Synergy, I do feel like you guys will be interested in kind of like holistic stuff when we have the Green Man. So maybe you guys are really interested in fitness and diet, or maybe you guys, you know, maybe you're just really into, maybe you're going to invent something with electricity, something to help nature a little bit more. Maybe you guys are going to be really interested in plants. Maybe you guys are going to really be interested in, you know, something to deal with healing, since we have this card. This can get translated into many, many, many different forms. Also, the fact that we have this Iceberg Submerged card, I do also see that you guys are going to be very enveloped in whatever that you guys are going to do for work or in the world, like your destiny. You're going to be very enveloped in whatever that is with this Iceberg card. I also feel like once you guys get in alignment with where you want to be in your future and like the career path that you choose, I feel like you guys are going to be unmovable, like unstoppable. If you think about an iceberg, it's like you can't really stop it. It's already there, and I do feel like this is like almost a permanent footprint on the earth. So whatever you guys end up doing, I feel like it's really going to leave like a permanent footprint on the earth. And I do feel like you're really going to be helping out the earth when we have this Green Man of Synergy. I do feel like this is very good. With Mediator and the Green Man of Synergy, again, I feel like there's a lot of fairness. There's almost like a connection to Mother Nature. There's almost a connection to like primal instincts, helping out the environment in some type of way as well. I do feel like you guys are very connected with those things. The next two cards that we have Venus of Love, and then we have Gemini, I think. This is actually really interesting because we do have that Knight of Swords, which is like kind of like an air sign, all about thinking, kind of like what I was saying. And then we also have Gemini, the card that I think, and because the Geminis ruled about, you know, mind, communication, that kind of stuff. So maybe you guys even are a Gemini, or maybe you guys are in just any sort of air sign. You don't have to be in order to relate to this reading, but sometimes there is those lovely coincidences that happen. With this Venus card, it is very connected with this Green Man Synergy card. I do feel like you guys are going to be very passionate about what you do, and there's just like a love behind what you do. I feel like once you guys get connected to it, once you guys kind of choose that destiny, there's just this ultimate love, and there's almost this healing type of energy. I do feel like you guys are almost going to be healing the earth, healing other people, healing yourselves type of thing. And then with this Gemini, I do feel like you're going to be using your mind a lot. I do feel like you guys are going to be possibly inventing some new things in whatever field that you guys end up working in. And also, I do feel like you guys are using a lot of brain power in whatever that you guys end up doing in your destiny. There's just a lot of thinking, possibly a lot of communication as well involved in the work field that you guys get involved in. The last three cards that we have over here, we have Divine Sensuality, we have Song of the Siren, we have Vulnerability. So Divine Sensuality, I do feel like this is just you know, falling in love with what you do. I do feel like it's going to get you so passionate. This is the card of passion. And so metaphorically, in this sense, it would connect very deeply to just being so passionate about what it is that you do for work and for your destiny. I feel like it's just going to resonate in your soul so deeply. And I feel like it's going to be like your motivating factor. You're one of those people that just gets so highly motivated by what you choose to do that you can wake up every morning being so excited about it. Then we do also have Song of the Siren, the call, summoning, voice to acknowledge. And so again, I do feel like you're gonna have a very big voice on this planet. We do have those 2 voice cards with the Knight of Swords and the Gemini card. So again, I do feel like your communication is gonna be very strong. I feel like whatever you say in this world, you are leaving that big footprint. You are making a big impact. Yeah, the word impact just came really strongly for me now. So this is definitely like a big impact on this planet. Your voice is really going to also matter in the field that you're in. I really feel like you're going to be on top, and people are going to come to you asking for advice or asking for how to do this or how to do that. You're really going to be kind of at the top tier. Again, I do believe it's because you're the one that's inventing all of these things, so of course you're going to be at the top tier of knowing what to do and how to handle it. And so our last card, which is vulnerability, open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. I almost read that as teacher, so for some reason I do feel like that is going to be a good correlation, or actually like a sign, essentially. So open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. So I do really feel like in order to get in touch deeper with your destiny, really get in touch with your heart. What does your heart say that you want to be involved in? When you're listening to this, what is your heart more naturally called towards? Allow yourself to really open. I do feel like once you open yourself more vulnerably and you kind of just allow yourself to sense and tap into what you feel that you personally are passionate about without listening to society and what you should be going to school for, what you should be doing for work. If you just tap into your ultimate passions, what does that lead you towards? And open up that vulnerability and kind of just open up that door and stop being scared of what other people are going to think of you. Stop being scared of those types of like other things that might be holding you back. As you open up to that, I feel like you're going to get in so much alignment with this that there's like no stopping you at that point. So that is what I see for you guys. Pile number 1, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! All right, so group number 2, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about your destiny. So let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 2, this is what we have for you guys. We start off with the 5 of crystals over here, then we have the Tower, then we have the 6 of cups, and then we have the 7 of crystals being reversed. So what does all of this signify? First off, I do want to say, with this 5 of crystals being one of the first cards over here, this is like the lone wolf type of energy, and so for your guys' destiny, that's not saying that you're going to be single for the rest of your life, but it's saying that for whatever your destiny is, I don't see you guys working in big groups. I really see you guys kind of working on your own. There will be times that you guys need help when we have 5 of crystals, and so there might be certain collaborations that you guys have, certain times that you're receiving help in whatever your destiny is, but I really do see you guys kind of working a little bit more alone. And that doesn't mean that you don't have clients. I do see you guys possibly having like clients and whatever your destiny is, but this is like you're not working in a group setting, for example. Like you're not working amongst coworkers and this and that. I really see you guys kind of like doing your own sort of thing. And then we also do have this Tower card over here. And so this is kind of saying I do feel like what you're doing for your destiny is like really shifting. You're shifting energy, you're shifting the world, you're possibly even helping people through crisis, possibly helping people through like different physical, psychological things, emotional things, kind of like helping people sort of heal and get past that, because 5 of crystals also does signify that it's like the card of sort of like needing help. And so I do feel like you are really attracted to helping people that really need help. And so maybe you guys are a healer of some kind. Maybe you guys are I don't know, like a shaman or a Reiki master, or even like a doctor or therapist or something like that. Maybe you're going to be drawn to those types of careers because it does look like, you know, you're really helping people through crazy times. And I do feel like whenever we do have the Tower come up, it could be because you personally have been through something pretty deep, and you've had to go on your own healing journey throughout life, and you've been just attracted to doing that for other people as well, because the Tower and the Six of Cups says that possibly when you were young and when you were a kid, you've been through already a lot. You've gone through a lot. And so I do feel like there's a part of you that almost kind of lives in that and uses that as your motivation to then heal other people or bring awareness to other people or bring, like good energy to others, because you know how it felt to kind of like be in that area when we have Six of Cups. I do also feel like this is possibly returning to something that you did as a kid as well. You might notice that you have like a desire to return to something that possibly you were inspired about as a kid when we do have the Six of Cups, or maybe you're even just very inspired to be around children as well, because this is the card of children, so it can also be indicating that. With the Seven of Crystals card being reversed, this is kind of like a multifaceted sort of work line, and so I do feel like it's not exactly so pinpoint, clear cut and dry. For you guys, this is like definitely, there's a multifaceted type of like energy to whatever your destiny is. It's not like you guys are just gonna like be this and that only. It looks like you guys are kind of like doing different things. It kind of looks like your schedule constantly changes up, your environment might change up in whatever your destiny is quite often, and so I am getting those types of vibes from this card as well. The next two that we have another child card. So we have Child Eternal. The light attributes are determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. And so you guys do have this optimistic sort of outlook on life, and so I do feel like you guys come with that like childhood like innocence where you love to see things optimistically, you love to see things in a good light, you see the light in other people very easily, and so whenever you meet someone, you're not as judgmental as some people can be. I feel like you guys are very open and very accepting, and that in itself is like a healing power in its own. Also, the determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. You guys also might be, again, very into healing. And so this can be, there's like a freedom and sort of like, definitely like a free sort of vibe that I get from this. When I look at this image, this is like being able to like let the winds guide you. Maybe you guys are into like meditation, the law of attraction, and kind of letting the world sort of just guide you into place. So I do feel like you have a very young sort of like optimistic outlook on life. It doesn't mean that you're like a young soul. I see you guys as kind of an old soul, in fact, with all of these other cards, but you do have this kind of like young freedom sense kind of mindset. Your destiny is also, you're supposed to work in a job that allows you a lot of freedom when we have this. This is a job where you're in control, you're able to have fun with it. I do see a lot of fun here, so your job is supposed to be something that allows freedom and fun, like a flexible schedule maybe, or something that you just enjoy. It allows at least other people possibly freedom. It allows them to have fun. Maybe you're unlocking other people's freedom to have fun because you're taking them through like this healing, stuff like that. And then we do also have the Priest, facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So maybe you guys are really interested in spiritual esoteric stuff when we have this card. Maybe you guys are like Reiki healers, or maybe you guys are also on YouTube making law of attraction videos or something. So this is definitely like very spiritual. Maybe you're into kind of like the esoteric knowledge. This is almost like kind of like Atlantean vibes in a way, but also like old, like maybe shamanic vibes, stuff like that. This is like maybe even like slightly Egyptian. Maybe you guys are into all of that esoteric knowledge, that fun stuff. I do also feel like since this is like spiritual channel, this like you're really into, being a channel of energy for other people, being able to, heal people through that and through your perspective and stuff. The next two cards that we have over here, we have Fairies, Earth Magic. And so with the Earth Magic card, this is kind of like, again, this is bringing me back to like the Priest card about spiritual energy and stuff like that. So I do feel like you guys are very connected to spirit. You guys are very connected to, again, like this is like a flower blooming with your own type of magic, essentially. So I do feel like you're really entering this world with very like magical types of things. I don't feel like you guys are working with like a industrial type of like this and that. I feel like you guys kind of like approach the world with this sort of like healing energy, this magic, the way to make people feel better. It's like you have this energy that when people are around you, they automatically feel better. And I do feel like you really help people open up. I'm seeing you really helping people open up and stuff like that. Then, of course, we also have the shaman card. What would a reading be without crazy synchronicities happening in the cards? So, ancient healing wisdom. Oh my gosh. So I do feel like you guys, even in your past lives, you've possibly been a healer. Even if in this life you're a doctor, something like that, you've had past lives of being a healer in some type of way. And way back when, our doctors used to be like shamans. They used to be like Reiki masters, things like that. And so I do feel like you come with this like sort of way of being able to really tap into people's energy and really help them. That's why they feel comfortable around you. It's like you have this magical energy around you that just makes people healed and make people feel better and make people feel free. The feathers do symbol freedom as well. So I feel like you really help people unshackle themselves and be able to tap into more of who they are and just stuff like that. It's just like this great sort of energy that you provide the world with. So again, I do feel like you guys are natural healers and you're naturally here to help people uplift, raise their vibes and raise their health and all that jazz. The next two cards that we have Leo, I will. This deals with the sun. It's very connected to the sun. It's also very connected to that childlike energy again, because it's ruled by the 5th house. It's all about children. Leo is all about children. And so maybe you guys are even directly working with children, going to be mothers and going to be healers, helping work your magic in that way. Maybe you guys are possibly just in the spotlight as well. Leo likes to be in the spotlight. So maybe you guys are, someone who provides a lot of like shamanic knowledge, esoteric knowledge online, something that's really in the spotlight. Maybe you guys are also like a head doctor that's in the, the front line type of thing, which is a very Leo-like position. You guys are someone who's very well known, very looked up to. And so whatever your position is, I do feel like you guys are going to be very looked up to in whatever that you do. And then we do also have the 2nd house of owning. This is ruled by Taurus. This deals with our diet. So maybe you're going to be talking a little bit about diet, nutrition in your life as well. This is also about making money and stuff. So I do feel like you're also going to take, a lot of spiritual people or a lot of healers tend to not want to take money for their positions. I do feel like you're going to be a healer that particularly does actually make money when we have the 2nd house. So you are meant to, and your destiny, you are meant to be in the spotlight and also reap the benefits and the rewards of all of your hard work. So I do feel like you're also going to make quite a bit of money in whatever it is that you end up doing in terms of healing and all that jazz. So our last 3 cards over here, this number 33 is sticking out to me hugely, even though it's such a small little number. But this over here is experiments, manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, or arrogance. Okay, so this is one thing that you might need to, I guess, look out for, because I do feel like whatever path that you guys end up taking, whether you're a doctor or a shaman, spiritual healer or something like that, you will have to kind of, I do see you guys kind of facing something that's a little bit dark in front of you. So maybe if you're a doctor, you're facing, diseases, things like that, and you're really having to be the one that faces them and has to maybe experiment with how to get rid of this. Or if you're a shaman or a Reiki master, you're going to have to experiment with how to help someone through their darkest times. And it's going to be a little bit, there's times where I feel like you're going to have to experiment a little bit in your job. And this number 33, again, is really sticking out to me. And so this is about celebration. I do feel like you guys are going to kind of reach some knowledge about how to better face these things and better get rid of them. And so manipulation of nature. So I do feel like you guys are also kind of being an alchemist with nature. So this could be with medicine, this could be with nutrition, diet, things like that, experimenting with that in order to kind of get rid of these darker things. Also, one thing that you guys will have to watch out for as well, because we do have cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge and arrogance. In our world right now, lots of us are going through a spiritual awakening where we're all realizing that the way that things are set up in our society aren't really set up very well at the moment. And so a lot of us are realizing that there is corruption in the government, there's corruption here, there's corruption there. So I do feel like, again, you guys will be facing a little bit of that, and we'll have to be aware of what is like fake news out there, what's the real news, what is real or what is fake. I do feel like you guys will be kind of directly facing a little bit of that, and whatever it is that you guys do. I know doctors are facing a little bit of that because there's a lot of misinformation going out there right now with a lot of the stuff that's happening in the world. It's also funny we get the Atlantis card because I was getting a little bit of Atlantean vibes. I do feel like you guys did have a past life in Atlantis where you guys had to go through the corruption of what was going on in Atlantis, which is eventually kind of one of the reasons why Atlantis ended up sinking and not making it a society, because they ended up, making it so far, but then because they had their own corruption, they ended up sort of corrupting what they had, and it ended up ending up in the way that it ended up, where there was like nobody left at that point, and it ended up being a sunken world that didn't make it. So rapid development, excellent success. You guys, since I feel like you guys have a past life in Atlantis, I do feel like in this life, you're going to be, you're going to develop really quickly. You're going to reach success really quickly from a pretty young age. I do feel like you guys are going to make a lot of money pretty soon in your careers for most of you, because you do have that Atlantean background. I also feel like because you come from that Atlantean background, you've already kind of like had to reach such a high success rate. And so you guys are going to learn very quickly. You guys are going to create very quickly. Right when you guys decide what you want to do, I feel like it's going to happen very quickly for you guys. It's not going to be like a long journey. Once you guys decide to be a doctor, I don't feel like it's going to be like a crazy long, hard road where you guys are going to be, this first and then that first and then that second and then this and then that. I feel like you guys are going to kind of just jump right in and glide on right through. And I do feel like you guys are just going to be, I don't know, I get this young kind of quick vibe because, again, that rapid development, excellence, and success, I do feel like you guys are going to be very good at what you do, and it's going to come to you very quickly and very easily. Then we do also have the card of sacrifice to end us off. There are those worth making, and then there are those that will destroy you. So this is kind of like that Atlantean sort of like lesson. So you guys do come in with this karma of there are some sacrifices worth making in your career, and then there's some sacrifices that are not worth making. And so one of the things that you're going to need to learn about in your personal destiny is that there are some things that are worth what you get in the end. I do feel like you guys are going to be learning some big lessons. I also feel like you guys are going to, one of the things that's going to help push you forward is the fact that you've had to learn big lessons in life so far. So again, you guys have had that like harder childhood. I feel like you guys have been through a lot, and that's kind of what pushes you to being this and doing this. So that is what I see for you guys. Pile number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. All right, so pile number 3, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be all about your destiny. So let's hop right into it. All right, so pile number 3, this is what we have for you guys. We start off with the 8 of Swords being reversed. Then we have the 9 of Swords upright. Then we have the 6 of Swords upright. Then we have the 4 of Wands upright. So a lot of sword energy. You guys might be an air sign who chose this. That's Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. You don't have to be one of those in order for this to resonate, but I'm just picking that up since we do have a lot of those air sign kind of cards that are coming up over here. So pile 3, your destiny, you're really going to have to learn about how to break free. Part of your destiny is learning how to get out of your own head and get out of the restrictions that other people put on you, and to really like step up, essentially. Step up and make your own destiny. So this 8 of Swords being reversed is definitely like being surrounded by your own self-limitations, feeling like you can't really get out of it. And so part of your destiny, your life kind of starts off in that way, okay? And it's going to lead you into what your destiny really is. It's going to, at first it's going to cause you some, like you guys might suffer from insomnia, but I feel like it's honestly because you're such a deep thinker. This is like, you guys have such a powerful mind where you guys, I feel like you're thinking about this, then you're thinking about that, then this, and then that, and then this, and then that. And I feel like it's because you guys, your part of your destiny is to have a very developed mind, to have a very sharp, keen sense. And I feel like the way that that's developing is because of the way that, you know, the things that you've gone through when you were born, and the things that you've gone through in your life thus far have made you someone with a very sharp mind, because you've had to really think about this outcome and then that outcome and then this and then that and then da 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 da, you know? So you guys have gone through a lot, but that's actually part of your destiny. It's going to really tie into who you are and where you're going in life. Then we do also have these Six of Swords, and so eventually you're gonna have to really break free from that. There's going to come a time where you're like, you know what, I'm done overthinking, I'm done thinking so much, and I want to move on to building something out of this. I want to build something for myself. And so you are going to eventually kind of like break free from that and leave that behind. And I do also feel like one thing you're gonna have to learn, and part of your destiny, is also to go pretty far away. And so I do feel like you guys, part of your destiny is moving to possibly a new country, or at least a new city than what you grew up in. I feel like you guys are very detached from whatever city that you grew up in, or you're just very like over it, and you're like, I'm an explorer. I kind of want to explore where I feel the most at home. I do feel like you guys will have a permanent place eventually, because we do end up on the Four of Wands over here, but I feel like you guys are kind of like adventurous, at least at first, where you guys know that you want to be somewhere else than where you kind of grew up in. And then this Four of Wands, I do see you guys setting permanent grounds somewhere, but the Four of Wands also deals with like kind of like creating something to celebrate, creating also a foundation for a family and stuff like that. So something for you guys, I do feel like a major part of your destiny is to find like your soulmate, to find your person that you can kind of settle down with and create a life with. So the Four of Wands does signify like creating your own family, creating your own happiness, creating like a sacred space for yourselves. And like a beautiful space. The next two cards that we have over here, we have a Don Juan. It spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. And then we do also have the Knight. So this is loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. And so I do feel like you guys are also possibly going to go through a time where, yes, you are very attractive. I do feel like you're going to be pulling in a lot of potentials. But one thing that I feel like you guys are going to really realize is that you want like loyalty, romance. I do feel like you guys are someone who's possibly very attracted to relationships and having a relationship. You're someone who, you know, I think you think about it more than most people, and you really don't exactly, I feel like you guys are someone, at least as you get older, depends on what age you are when you're watching this, you're going to be someone who's very attracted to having relationships. You're going to be very attracted to not being single. You want a relationship. And so I do feel like a big part of your destiny is to find that relationship, to find loyalty, romance, chivalry, a love of honor. And so one of your things is to be able to make a family. You know, when we have Four of Wands, I do feel like it's part of your destiny to actually like have a family, whether that just be you two or actually having children and stuff like that. I do feel like romance is a big thing for you. But early on, I do feel like you guys have this sharp mind where you just do a lot of thinking. But as soon as you release that, I feel like you enter this stage of like, I want to create a foundation. I've moved away to a city that I actually like. You're going to start this foundation. I feel like you're going to be really excited to then, you know, find somebody. You guys might have a lot of planets in the 7th house in astrology. So if you guys don't know what that is, you guys can, you know, find a website that searches up your birth chart. Although to know the housing system, you guys are going to need to know the time that you're born in order to figure that out. So you do need the specific minute that you guys were born in order to figure out what house that your planets are in. So all of us have planets almost in every single house, but I do feel like you guys specifically probably have a lot in your 7th house that deals with like relationships, possibly even in your 5th house, because that one also deals a bit with relationships as well. So 5th and 7th house are pretty strong for you guys. But yeah, I do feel like you guys are definitely the type that is going to be traveling quite a bit. But then I do feel like you guys are settling down later on. And so part of your destiny, yes, is to travel find your freedom. I do feel like if we're speaking about career and what you guys are going to be doing for career, I do see that you guys are going to be a little bit more online, because the swords do indicate social media and stuff like that. And the Six of Swords particularly pertains to travel. And so I do feel like you guys are either going to work in a job that offers you to be able to work remotely, like work from your laptop, work from, just traveling. Maybe you guys are going to be working in a field that involves traveling, stuff like that. So I do feel like that's mostly the career paths that kind of pertain to this sort of pile right here. The next two that we have over here, the next two cards, we have Eagle, Communion. Ooh, and so again, this deals with travel, this deals with flight, this deals with looking at things from above. And so I do really see that you guys are probably going to travel for whatever career that you guys end up in. But Communion as well, this is like really finding, where you belong. Where do you belong? And I do feel like this is going to be more of a later in life type of desire about where you belong. I feel like that's why you're into travel in the first place, is because you are trying to find where you belong. But I do feel like you're going to put your roots in somewhere. And then after that, your whole destiny is going to involve a lot around like relationships and soulmates and things like that. And then this island, solitude. So again, this deals with travel. I do feel like you guys are going to be a little bit of a lone wolf at first. But then I do feel like you guys are kind of like, even when you do find your soulmate, I feel like it's like let's just do our own thing. Let's travel. I do feel like wherever you guys end up settling down, it'll be somewhere that has a lot of solitude. It'll be somewhere that's pretty far away. I almost see like this island even coming up. I do see you guys by water of some kind, maybe in a mountainous region type of thing. So, yep, travel's part of it. And then also soulmate sort of energy is part of your destiny. The next two cards that we have Scorpio, I transform, and then we have the 6th house of routine. And so Scorpio over here, this deals with, going through those deep transformations that we were talking about previously. And so you guys are going to go through, getting over your past, having to kind of leave that behind, having to transform yourself into something brand new. And so you're really going to have to take your old wounds from the past and push them in towards transforming them into creating like your strengths, essentially. Because the more you work out a muscle, you tear down the muscle, you rip the muscle, but then it grows back stronger. And then that is what gives you the strength to push forward even more. So I do see you guys kind of like having that theme in your life of needing to really transform. I do feel like this is more in the beginning of your life, kind of doing that major transformation, and then being able to really like be a knight, be traveling, be an eagle, kind of like have your freedom, find where you truly belong in the world. The 6th house of routine, I do feel like one thing that you're going to realize eventually, because I do see this sort of like more freedom sort of type energy, but the fact that we have 6th house coming in, this is ruled by Virgo. And so there is this sort of like healer type of energy. Virgo is very environmental. And so I feel like your environment is going to matter to you a lot. So for you guys, in order to get into your happiest state, it really depends on where you are in the world. It depends what city you're at. It depends what, your environment is going to dictate your happiness quite a bit in your life. And again, that can be a limiting belief, so don't always take what I say for absolute truth. But I do feel like if you guys resonate with that in the moment, that's because that's really connected to you in this moment. But again, it doesn't need to always dictate your happiness level. You guys can find happiness wherever that you are, but I do feel like you're someone who naturally is someone that your environment heavily kind of dictates your mood. And so when you're, by the beach or something, you probably feel great. When you're by the mountains, you probably feel like, I feel so great. But then, there could be other things that really don't resonate with you, and they kind of bring down your mood. And so one of the things that you're going to realize is that your environment heavily dictates how you feel. And so you're going to really need to focus a bit on your environment, since we do have a 6th house coming up. Routine is also very interesting, because I do see you guys as this free kind of spirited soul, but I do feel like you guys are going to have to set roots eventually and create a more routine. And I feel like this is when like love is going to really kind of start to blossom in your life and things like that. The last 3 cards that we do have sisterhood, we have yearning, and then we have energy field adjustment. So sisterhood, I do feel like you guys are gonna really, once you find where you belong, you're gonna really find your people. Once you find the environment that you really enjoy, which I do think is going to require a big move for you guys, I feel like you're going to really start to resonate with the people that are there, and you're going to really find your sisterhood or your brotherhood or, you know, your soul tribe essentially. Then we also do have yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation or pinning. And so one thing that you guys might realize is that in the beginning of your life, I do feel like you're really going to yearn, you're going to long for something and you're not really sure what that is. I do feel like you guys are longing for love. You're very you have a romantic eye. You want that romance, but I do feel like your very spontaneous energy might kind of like stop you from that for a little bit. But once you guys kind of realize that you need the routine, you need to plant your roots somewhere, I feel like it's going to take off. But part of your life is like really trying to find and seek. I feel like you guys, your life destiny is like the seeker essentially. You guys are the seeker with the Six of Swords. You're constantly seeking out and yearning for love, romance, soul tribe energy, where you actually belong, where you actually want to root yourself. And that's kind of why you're constantly up in the air or changing your mind for most of your life. Well, not most of your life, just for at least the beginning of your life. And then you're going to kind of plant your roots and figure it out. Then we have energy field adjustment, aura cleansing, and health. So I do feel like you guys are going to get into, you're going to get in touch with a more spiritual sense. I think especially as you start to travel more, as you start to like uproot yourself more and get into new energies and new places, I do feel like that's what's going to cleanse your aura the most, is as you travel, as you get to these new places, you're definitely going to feel that it changes your energy. It literally cleanses your aura. It's going to cause so much healing for you whenever you travel. It's like you get the most insight when you travel. You get the most like spiritual downloads and spiritual like enlightenment whenever you travel, and you feel more yourself because you get to discover yourself through your traveling. And so that's where I see you guys are going to thrive the most, and that's kind of your destiny, is to be able to travel and find that kind of like soulmate connection and heal yourself through that travel and really find yourself through that travel. So that's what I see for you guys. Pile number 3, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! All right, so pile number 4. If you guys chose this pile, this is gonna be all about your destiny. So let's get started. All right, so pile number 4, this is what we have for you guys. We have the Lovers being reversed, we have Strength being reversed, we have the King of Crystals upright, and then we have the Page of Cups being reversed. And so immediately what I'm getting from the vibes of this, whenever the Lovers is reversed over here, this is us battling with what society tells us that we're supposed to be doing. And so part of your destiny is to break free of societal constructs and realize that they aren't something that serves you. And I do feel like you guys are going to realize this a bit later in life. I feel like you guys are going to be kind of sort of like possibly even working in a job that you guys aren't really super hyped about in the early part of your life, and eventually you guys are going to kind of realize that your patience is wearing thin. But you guys are also someone who's very committed. You're very like, okay, I want to do everything right. I want to make sure that I have a solid foundation for myself. I feel like for you guys, security is very important for you, and so you're I feel like you're almost raised in a family or lifestyle where it's praised to be the person that, you know, goes to school and gets a 9-to-5 job and does those things. And so I feel like that's something that you guys are gonna have to deal with and break out of actually in your life, because we do have these upside down. So I do feel like eventually it's gonna be like, ooh, don't know how much longer I can hold off my own creativity, because again, Page of Cups ends up reversed at the very end. And so this is kind of like, oh, I have my own ideas, but you've been kind of like shutting down your own unique ideas. I do feel like you guys have unique ideas, but they kind of are on the back burner, or they're on hold, or like your creativity is on hold because you're like, I just want to make sure I have security. I want to make sure I have enough money. I want to make sure that I'm doing things right. I want to make sure that I can buy myself a nice house. I want to make sure that I can fulfill and do the things that I want to do in order to live a happy life. But something that I think you guys are going to realize is like, wait a minute, I'm working so hard in order to live a happy life, but then I don't have time to live a happy life because I'm working this job that isn't part of like my happiest life. I do feel like you guys don't kind of like mind it in the beginning. It's kind of like, oh, this is just the way things are. But I do feel like as you kind of like age and as you're in this for longer, I feel like you're really going to be like, ooh, I don't know about that. Don't know about that. Maybe you guys will even realize at a young age. I don't know. It's a general reading again, so all of you guys will have a bit of a different scenario. But the common theme among you guys, pile number 4, is definitely like feeling like you need to uphold and please society's wants and desires for the average person in society. So I do feel like you guys feel like you are carrying that weight of needing to impress or please the way that society says that people should be. And then, yeah, so strength, again, I do feel like you guys will get kind of frustrated with it, impatient with it as time goes on. But again, I do feel like you guys are going to be very successful in what it is that you're doing. But the fact that you do really want security, it kind of leads you towards doing things in the way that society has made it to be, like, you know, going to school, getting that job, that sort of stuff. The next 2 cards that we have Healer and Samaritan. Be a good Samaritan. Samaritan, that's how you pronounce it. I am sometimes so bad at pronouncing words. But being a good Samaritan refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. So I do feel like, you know, part of your guys' destiny, yes, you were kind of like here to sort of experience what it's like to be following society for so long and doing kind of like the things that society tells us to do, and then learning that, oh, wait a minute, I really need to focus on my own creativity and what I love. But the really good attribute of being like a good Samaritan is that you do refine your capacity to help those that you would prefer to ignore. So I do feel like you're going to be working in a job where you would prefer not to be working in that job, but at the same time, you're someone who's very capable of doing it. You have so much strength behind you to where you're really able to do this. You know, most people don't have what it takes. They don't have the energy. They don't have the wherewithal to stick to it and do it right. You guys are really like refined in the sense that you're able to really do the things that most people don't want to do. You're like, I can sit down and I can work at this desk. I can work at this place where I do the business emails. I can work for another person. You're someone who's very capable of doing that, which not a lot of people are capable of. That's a talent in itself. You really know how to be good and follow up with those things. But I do feel like eventually you're gonna really want to break free. We do also have Healer over here. So passion to serve others by repairing the mind, our body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. So that's very beautiful. You really do have a natural talent for really helping people. I do feel like your destiny is also kind of working in a field that really helps people, because over here you're helping people and over here you're helping people. So you're almost working in a field that nobody else really wants to work in, because I feel like you're really helping the people that nobody else wants to help. And I feel like it really gives you a good sense of fulfillment. You feel like you're really doing something right in the world, which you are. I mean, like, we need people like this in the world. So for you guys, pile number 4, you really deserve like a pat on the back. You guys are doing great out here. Our next 2 cards that we have Whale, Breach, then we have Forest, Breath. And so I do feel like eventually you're going to want to really break free. So part of your destiny is also realizing that there's going to come a time where you're going to really want to break free from what you've set up for yourself, because you're going to feel eventually like it doesn't really resonate with you anymore, and that you really just want to enjoy life. And, you know, you've built up your security so high, you've done all these like great things, and I do feel like it's going to be a talent that really helps push you into your future as well. But then we do also have Forest, Breath, and so I do feel like there will be a time where you're going to really like crave like a breath of fresh air. And I do feel like you're a breath of fresh air for other people as well. I really feel like, you know, we need the trees in order to get more oxygen. And so you're like basically like the oxygen of this world. Your destiny is to really be that oxygen that people need. You know, you take away the things that people don't want, like the carbon, the CO2, essentially. So you guys take in that CO2, the things that people don't want, the things that people don't really need, and you transform it into what people do need. You like heal that and switch it around, so it's like a metaphor for like what you guys are doing in your field and for your destiny. But there is a time where you guys are going to really have that break free moment where you guys are really going to need to break out of that eventually. Then our next two cards, we have Mars, Force, and then we have first house, the body. And so I really do feel like you guys are healers, especially when it comes to the body. I feel like, again, with Aries, because this is ruled by Aries, this is like, who am I? You're going to really start to ask yourself, who am I? What do I really want? The body, I do feel like you guys are somehow healing around the body. You're working in a thing that deals with other people directly. Mars, Force, this is like, actually I want to put these cards down here. Mars, Force, I do feel like there's going to be eventually like a break free kind of moment for you guys in your life when we have these two cards. And so eventually I do feel like you guys are going to have that breakaway, break free type of like energy. Also with Mars, Force, I do feel like you guys have so much energy. When we have the first house and Mars, which are actually, Aries is ruled by Mars, so these cards are actually very connected. This is dealing with the physical body. And so I feel like you guys physically, you have a lot of energy. You have a lot to give. You have a lot of drive. You can be that goat that climbs to the top of that mountain and actually gets there instead of taking a bunch of breaks. I feel like you guys are really like destined to be people that just have a lot of drive and a lot of motivation and a lot to give to the world. The last three cards that we have for you guys, we have Adrift, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. And so I do feel like you guys, for your guys' destiny, you guys are kind of like, you kind of let go and you let the reins kind of like carry you to where you want to be. And so this can deal with like the letting go when you're like, okay. But I do feel like you guys are going to have this time of kind of being on autopilot in your career where you're kind of just, you kind of let go and you know what you need to do in the career and you're kind of just there and you're showing up. But you're going to eventually really want to break free from that and kind of not just be adrift anymore. You're not going to want to just be flowing along with where society tells you should go. There's going to be that breach kind of moment. But I do feel like a big portion of your life is going to be spent being kind of adrift and just kind of like letting society and the world take you to where you need to be. Then we also do have soul cage, rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. So again, this is the breach card. You guys are going to be eventually breaking free. I do feel like you guys are going to realize that the 9 to 5 type of thing just feels like a cage for some reason, but you do, this endurance card fits with you guys so well. I can't even believe that we have it right now. So you guys are, you're really cut out for this. You guys are almost made, your guys' soul is so cut out to have a lot of energy, and to Mars is also endurance as well. So you guys are really cut out to just endure the most. You have more of that than most people do. Like, your driving force is to really be that good Samaritan, to have that endurance, to do what needs to be done, because you're like, you know what, my career, this is something that needs to be done in the world, and who else is going to do it if it's not me? You're like one of those people that's like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the things that most people don't want to do. I'm going to do the things that most people prefer to ignore. And you're going to have the endurance to really do that. So kudos to you guys. Like, wow, pile number 4. We need people like you on this planet. But I do feel like, again, there's that moment where you guys are going to break free from that sort of cage that you guys are kind of going to be in for a little bit. So that is what I see for you guys. Pile number 4. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Let me know if it resonated down below in the comment box, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Alright, so pile number 5, my last pile. If you guys chose this one, this is going to be all about your destiny. So let's hop right into it. All right, pile number 5. So we start off with oppression reversed as the first card. This is actually really good being reversed. And then we do have the 2 of Wands reversed. Then we do have the 5 of Cups reversed, which is also better reversed. Then we have the Hierophant over here. So immediately, right when I saw this Hierophant, this was very interesting to me because she's holding this like ball of light, which is very different than the normal Hierophant card, but this one to me is speaking something totally different than what Hierophant kind of normally means. As she's holding this ball of light, I just immediately got this message of you guys entered this world with such a natural gift of something, like just a light that's like waiting to be shone onto this planet. It's almost like you guys were born with a very particular destiny and a very particular gift that you're supposed to utilize as part of that destiny. It's not like you guys have like a destiny already written, but you came here with a very particular gift that does correlate with what your soul's like blueprint was, and each of us create our own blueprints before even like being born and stuff. But I do feel like you guys are like, okay, this is my gift I'm taking onto the world, and this is what I want to be able to do with it. So again, we do have free will once we're here, so it really depends on your own execution of it, with what and how it ties into your destiny. But you guys do have this natural born gift over here. When we do start off with oppression being reversed over here, I do feel like you guys are going to work in a career that most of society wants to kind of like put a veil on you and be like, no, you can't do that. I feel like you're going to really be drawn towards careers that society says are impossible, or they want to say like, it's a career that's kind of tough to attain, essentially, when we have the oppression being reversed. But you guys are going to be really drawn towards doing it anyway. You guys are like, I'm just going to, that's what I'm drawn to. I'm just going to go in that direction. So just so you guys know, part of your destiny is to not listen to the oppression, not listen to the restraints or restrictions that society says, oh, that career is hard, you'll never make it. Part of your destiny is to stop listening to that. Then we also do have the Two of Wands being reversed. And so part of you really needs to get over your own self-doubt. And one of those struggles that you will have is like, can I really do it? Can I really do this? I feel like you guys are really picking a career that it's really far out. It's one that most people will look at and be like, there is such a long journey between where you are and where you want to be. Are you really sure you can make it to that destination? One of the things that you guys are going to have to break free from is believing that you can and just doing it anyway, because that's the only way that you're going to get there. It doesn't just happen in a random way where you're like, oh my gosh, I just woke up and all of a sudden my dreams were answered. You guys are really going to need to put a lot of dedication towards it if that's something that you guys actually want to do. When the Five of Cups is reversed, this is really having to take a positive outlook. Part of your destiny is having to take all the naysayers and be like, you know what? There is this possible chance, and that's all I'm going to be looking at. And if that's all you look at, that's all you get, is that actual chance. If you're looking at the possible failure, that's where you're putting your energy, is towards possible failure. If you're putting your energy towards this many chances, maybe you only have 2 chances that it's going to happen, but then you have all these reasons why you could fail. If you just look over here at the very couple reasons and couple chances that you have, you're going to end up there, as long as you do them in integrity as well, because the Hierophant is here as well to show that integrity must be had in this career. It's not just like finding an easy way out or riding on the back of somebody else. This is very much like, you can have teachers, you can have mentors, you can look up to certain people, but you're going to really have to do it also on your own, okay? This is like really keeping integrity in that, that career. The next 2 cards that we have over here, we have Queen and we have Poet. Ooh, so maybe some of you guys want to be writers in some sort of way. Maybe you guys want to use your voice in some way. Maybe you guys are going to be reading scripts. Maybe you guys are going to be writing poetry, like lyrics, for example. Music is poetry in itself. So maybe you guys are going to, for example, expresses soul insights in symbolic language. Symbolic language is acting. Symbolic language is lyrics for a song. It's symbolic language. So again, I do feel like you guys are kind of utilizing a certain talent where I feel like you guys are going to be very creative. Also in the spotlight, because we do have this Queen card, okay? So, so the Queen is basically just someone who's in the spotlight, okay? This is a pile. So you guys, pile number 5, are definitely, your destiny is to be seen. Your destiny is to use your voice in some type of way. Your destiny is to use your creative writing in some way. This is a very Mercury type pile where I feel like you guys are really utilizing like the throat chakra a lot, or music in some way. So maybe you're not even utilizing, well, music comes through the throat chakra as well a bit. So maybe you guys are musicians, maybe you guys are, something along the lines of that. But again, I do feel like you guys are definitely going to be in the spotlight, and that's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting stuff. The next 2 cards that we have over here, we have autumnal equinox, which is basically the autumn equinox, which is release. And then we also have winter solstice. Interesting, we have an equinox and a solstice card coming up. So this is interesting. So I do feel like you're going to be really releasing your own emotions through a creative outlet. So whether that even be painting or art in some type of way, because poetry, it's the same as like, you know, putting your emotions onto a canvas, onto a page, and then expressing them there on out. So you guys might even be artists who chose this pile, but this is all about, you know, being able to release your emotions and release it in a colorful, creative way. Then we also do have the winter solstice of reflection. And so this is all about, you know, being able to relate to other people, giving out stories or art forms or anything of the sort in a way where people can relate to you, they can reflect on it. This is also a way that you're going to really need to get in touch with your own emotions, your own inner talents, to be able to reflect on your own emotions enough to where you can then release them, put them onto a canvas and have them be painted and put words onto a canvas. Or, you know, like musicians put sound onto blank, like nothingness, you know, that's their canvas. Their canvas is the lack of sound, and then music gets written on that sort of canvas. The next two cards that we have over here, we have Sun, Spirit, and then we also have Taurus, I have. And so the Sun over here, you guys are meant to be in the spotlight. Again, this is ruled by Leo. This is, you know, everything revolves around the Sun. I don't want you guys to get egotistical now when I say that, but I do think you guys are going to kind of be in the spotlight. You're going to be really drawn towards being in the spotlight. And then we do also have Taurus, I have. And so with Taurus, this is like, you guys are really meant to make it. You guys are meant to have like a material manifestation of whatever that you are creating, whether that be like a film or an album or, you know, an actual piece of art or something like that. And I do feel like you guys are really meant to make money from your artistic endeavors. You know, there's a lot of people that they work in their artistic endeavors and they don't really make a lot of money. You guys are really meant to actually make tangible money. You're meant to live off of your creative pursuits. The last three cards that we have Falling in Love, Kissing the Divine in Another, in Yourself. This card is so beautiful. Can we just look at that for a second? Oh my gosh, I want this almost like printed onto a canvas and put up in my house. And it's so funny that I'm saying that right now, because we're talking about the fact that you guys are an artistic pile and all about canvases and stuff. So that's very interesting. I do feel like people are going to look at your art in a very beautiful way. They're going to really fall in love with your art. I do also see that your guys' destiny, you're really meant to find your soulmate this lifetime as well. I do feel like that's actually really written into your destinies, to really just fall in love and realize that passion. I also feel like you guys are going to be very passionate about your career. Then we do also have freedom, independence, self-determination. So your destiny is really about breaking free of what society says, what the other people around you that say, oh, you can't make it, like the other oppression that you may be facing. You're really meant to break free from that, of course, and have your own freedom, independence, and it's really going to take a ton, you guys, a ton of self-determination in order to get there. So for a while you might feel like a bit of a rebel, because you're like, okay, I'm doing something that, you know, most people are like, that's a career path, that's for sure. That's one that's a bit hard to get. And then we do have a wave of power, surge of power, upswing in energy, exhilarating movement. So I do feel like as you guys get more passionate, as you guys get really involved in whatever it is that you're going to be doing, you're going to set like a momentum, essentially. As long as you keep going after it, you're going to create like a big wave of momentum, literally a wave of power. So the more energy that you put towards doing this, the more energy that's going to back you into pushing you into that destiny. And so I do feel like you guys have the potential to really get there. This exhilarating movement, I feel like also when you get there, I feel like you're going to be so just like empowered, and you're going to feel so good and so excited. And there's just going to be this like energy that's backing you that just feels so like powerful, essentially. So as long as you keep your freedom, you keep that passion, you keep going towards it, you keep, you know, doing your art in whatever way that looks, you're really going to create that momentum to actually get there. But you really need to focus on, you know, honing in on those talents, learning them deeper and deeper. The Hierophant also deals with like learning very deeply. And so keep studying that craft, keep practicing it over and over and over again. Create that wave of power, and that's what's really going to take you there. And that's literally your destiny, pile number 5. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.